This is Stephen Nelson for MMA Latest Daily. Thanks for tuning in. Today I am going to talk to you about UFC 100 and UFC 194. Which is the bigger card? Which is going to have the most people watching? Which is going to be the more pivotal event when it comes to UFC history? Well, UFC 100 had Brock Lesnar, the biggest star in MMA at the time. We had all the WWE fans tuning in. We also had GSP versus Thiago Alves in another title fight on their card on UFC 100. It was absolutely stacked, known as the best card we've ever had. 1.5 million pay-per-view buys. It is the benchmark to end all benchmarks. When you're talking about how good a card is, UFC 100 is not even in the frame, it is the frame. So where does UFC 194 stack up? Let's have a look at what happened on the UFC 100 card. We had, as I mentioned, Brock Lesnar versus Frank Mir. We had GSP versus Alves. We had Hendo versus Bisping with that sick knockout. We also had Fitch and Thiago though, and no one was tuning in for that, was there? Let's face it, that was just filler. We also had Akiyama and Belcher. Again, solid fighters. No one was tuning in this card to watch those two fight. Simple as that. Coleman was on there. Mark the Hammer. Everyone loves Mark the Hammer, but it was close to the end of his career. He lost his last... he lost 3 out of his last 4. Now he lost to legends. He lost to Randy Couture, he lost to Fedor, and he lost to Shogun Rua. But he still lost them. This was his solitary win in his last 4 fights. John Bones Jones. He was on the card, and people always point, oh yeah, we had Jones on there. But Jones was essentially a nobody at that time. Jones didn't really start coming on until the Brandon Vera fight about 2 years later. So Jones was still working his way, finding his way through in there. He was on the undercard for a reason, and so was Coleman. Now, UFC 194. We've got Conor McGregor. Much like Brock Lesnar, we've got the whole of Ireland watching this. We have got Jose Aldo, probably the pound for pound #1 MMA fighter in the world, if not the. There's an argument to be had, and I'll let you have the argument, but he's in the conversation, let's say that. We've also got Weidman versus Rockhold, the guy that beat Anderson Silva not once but twice, cemented his own place in the pound for pound list against one of the toughest opponents he's going to face. We've got Jacare versus Romero. We've just got an unbelievable card, Gunnar Nelson versus Damian Maia, and the one I think people are sleeping on, I'm just going to apologise for the rain that you can hear above me, it's a glass roof. We have got Holloway versus Stevens, people are sleeping on that. We've got Alves versus Covington. That's 2 undefeated welterweight fighters that are going head to head. Both now had 3 wins in the UFC. Both now could go on and be the John Jones of this card. That's what I'm telling you is going to happen. One will win, one will lose, and we might see one career absolutely take off from those 2 lads. What do you think? UFC 194, we are in the danger zone right now where we could lose either of the main event fighters. Both are prone to injury. One more than the other, it has to be said. We could lose one of the co-main events. Without those, it doesn't stack up. But if this fight goes off as planned, are we looking at the greatest MMA card of all time? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment and share it. Thanks for watching. Laters.